Sustainable fashion has to do so much more than just look good. From the sourcing to manufacturing to marketing, the designer needs to make sure that every decision is justified. So, are our finalists ready to put their money where their mouth is? I hope so, because today is judging day.
I feel too nervous now. Yeah, but I try my best to present my collection because I really love it.
I hope I impress the judges with my collection.
This year, the judging panel spans a variety of fields in the industry, from fabrics to mass production to creative direction. They'll be using their expertise to assess the finalists based on 4 criteria: creativity, marketability, workmanship, and of course, sustainability.
Yeah, I'm very excited to meet them. So I practiced for like 20 times already.
So my collection is about power dressing. The main part of my materials are wedding dresses. And there's approximately 10.6 million of weddings happening every year in China. What if just 10% of the bride decide to donate their wedding dress?
I like the idea of upcycling wedding dresses.
There's definitely an emotional business model there, and the designs were beautiful.
But at the same time, I felt like it was a bit dated.
Yeah,
it's hard to work with lace.
Well, let's talk about Anna then.
For me, it is important not just to have a sustainable product, but also a sustainable design process. So I went to another craft and brought their circular strategies into fashion. I went to a retirement home and I was knitting with some lovely ladies. And the second collaboration was with a watchmaker. And the third collaboration was with a graphic designer.
The story was nice, the colors were nice.
I like the way that she was very proactive, using collaboration. But because of that concept, it lacked a little bit coherency in my opinion.
It just feels too complicated.
I built this collection upon 5 systems that I developed in order to keep all 5 of my looks zero waste. The first system being my self-made batting, making the garments a monomaterial, which overall has more effective decomposition properties. The second system I developed is my looped yarn binding technique. The looping allows for the garment panels to be deassembled and reassembled to replace if any have any damage to them.
It's nice, but you didn't invent the technique. Huh? She was one of the few who thought about the deconstruction of the garment for the reuse. No?
On sustainability, she was high.
Yeah.
I would describe my collection as being modular, soft, but also very structured. I created these attributes by using textiles such as surplus yarns, upcycled bed sheets, scrap textiles, and extra pieces of plywood that I combined to create a zero-waste collection.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Kate. I like him.
I like him too, and I love neon lights.
Yeah.
When I was young, I saw a lot of signage with the very colorful neon lights. So I would like to integrate those culture into my design.
I really like that he was taking pictures of the city and putting it into a print.
The use of ribbon, the embroidery, that was well executed, but I think he lacked also some material knowledge. When you use the garment waste, you try to respect the material groups, organics with organics, synthetics with synthetics.
Well, I still feel nervous. Their question really challenging.
So you've made it, then what?
What's the future you think about your business model?
How commercially scalable do you see it?
It means scalable.
I think in today's world, we're trying to just design garments that are sustainable and get more people to wear it. I think scalability is important for sure.
I kind of imagined that you'd actually be doing it commercially using a flatbed quilter instead of the specific Bartak machine. They had some concerns about how it translates to a commercial scale, but the judging in and of itself was really exciting. So my concept is really built around this idea of layers as a tool for wear.
So the idea is that you stain it just here, you can cut away the top layer and then you'll begin to see the layer underneath to build emotional attachment, and also, over time it actually gains value rather than loses it.
When I heard about how it becomes kind of like a design detail, I was like, oh, that's really cool.
The qualitative feeling while touching, she had the highest mark.
A couple concerns I had was the wearability. Some were very heavy.
But she's my favorite.
She's not my favorite. It's too heavy.
I love her.
What do you think of Damani?
Apparently it was very hard for her to go into fashion, and that she fought her way through. That's definitely the spirit you need as a designer.
So one of the main raw materials of my collection is the sari, and I think it's very important to have an emotional connect to the garments, because most of Indian women are connected to saris because it's given to you either by your mom or by your grandmom.
It's a beautiful collection.
But for me, it's so far away from my cultural scope and my personal taste, but the sustainability aspect was definitely there.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. All over the world, uniforms are thrown out in an enormous scale. The main idea of the project is to give uniform a long life cycle.
I think scalability, she's one of the champions of the group.
It's easier to scale.
Yeah.
I just struggle sometimes when you're just deconstructing a garment and then reconstructing it differently. Given that she only did that, it looks very nice.
So why menswear?
Because we need to give solution and answer for the men that interested in sustainable fashion.
My trigger point for this collection was my close friend Naomi. She lives a really sustainable lifestyle. Naomi, she's living currently in the Rockies Mountain. She's actually living in a tent. The idea came up to me and I started to collect some old and damaged camping equipment. As a young fashion designer, I have the opportunity to do something good. I wanted that my collection will be as functional as those materials are.
So tents and sleeping bags.
I mean, it's going to be super hot in that.
I agree, yeah. But aesthetically, I have to say she was one of my favorites.
I think it's so interesting. There's so much menswear and unisex collection this year.
I don't know if they knew that Reverb is a gender fluid brand, but it's for us it's very good, yeah.
This cycle, the winner will collaborate with Reverb to create a sustainable collection for retail.
It would be amazing to win the award, but some of my answers were possibly not what the judges were expecting.
Do you think it's scalable given the number of hours?
No, but I'm not really interested in that, so.
Why is that? If you want more people to wear, why will you not want to make this scalable?
Mass production isn't something that moves me.
She was quite adamant that she's anti-commercial.
She's anti-commercial.
Which I don't quite understand.
This mini hypocrisy is exactly what I thought as well, because if you're serious about that and if you do want to do fashion to better and preserve the planet, you need to scale it up, you know? So this is a certain conflict in her concept.
I'm still not convinced of the sustainability of mass production, even though we have seen some amazing examples during this experience. My main objective is to try and make fashion that's really exciting and engaging. So this particular collection imagines a kind of group of futuristic mourners grieving the loss of a biodiverse planet.
From the creative and the story, she's my favorite because it needs a lot of creativity to pack that very dark message and make something fun and light out of it.
For me, it's a balance between oh, it's creative, but at the same time, people will buy it and actually keep it in the wardrobe. Yeah.
My name is Karina, and this is my collection, which is fighting against the fast fashion industry and also the consumerist mindset of the people. And this is why I have printed some statements on the outside of the clothes.
I think Karina is quite the creativity, to make the whole collection work.
These are the patterns. You can cut these garments around the dotted line, and then you have to join all the pieces and sew it.
For me, on marketability, Karina probably was at the top of the bunch. They were desirable. They had an element of fun as well.
Yes, fun. Doesn't have to be so serious.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So who's got a favorite?
I think everyone has a favorite, right? Yeah.
I have one or two, but I'm not sure.
A lot of it, I think I'm just going to wait till, after the runway, when I see the actual garments on models.
So, the runway show it is?
Yeah.
With the grand final only one day away, I head back to Shamsho Po to sustainable designer Joanna Ho's studio for the all-important fitting for the 2 challenge outfits.
Ooh. Yes, here are your outfits, they're done.
Wow.
Since our designers were busy impressing the judges, Joanna's team kindly put the finishing touches to both garments.
I must say it's a difficult challenge. I understand that they got the inspiration from the architecture.
At Tycoon, we are using this style of the roof shape for doing all the cording in the dress.
There was a staircase, the spiral one. I really liked it. So what I did was, it's a normal blazer, but the sleeve, it's just one spiral line.
Our final design is inspired by the shape of the building, which you can see in the color. We took the elements of the same window shapes and translated it into a textile.
I absolutely love the sleeves and the high-waisted pants. They're definitely high-waisted. The fabric's quite bulky. What about this one? The blazer's nice. Oh, I didn't notice these details. That's quite cute detail.
I'm not sure how it will look together. The proportion isn't quite right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I love the way this looks on the side. I kind of have an idea of which one I like better, but let's try them on because the most important part is how it fits.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Next time on Frontline Fashion.
Such a big platform.
With the judges still undecided, it all rests on the runway.
It's crazy that it's already gotten to this point.
There's not much more we can do. It's out of our hands.
At the Redress Design Award Grand Final.